Okay. So I think before Assumption, my faith has been a little lukewarm, and it still is, but I think God is starting to call me out of that phase of my life. Through my time at Assumption, I've learned a lot about, as someone who is not Catholic, I've learned a lot about Catholic faith, and I've grown to appreciate some things, such as the reverence for the Virgin Mary, the power of the saints. My favorite happens to be Saint Anthony because I tend to lose things a lot. And I've also grown to appreciate a deeper meaning for the Eucharist, even though I can't have it here when I can have it at my home church. I feel like I have a deeper connection to it now. I've been involved in a lot. This year alone, I've been involved in music ministry, Agape Latte, Scott Brill's Bible studies, which is one of my favorite. I lecture from time to time. I do charismatic praise, a good amount. I've also occasionally dabbled in peer ministry, though I haven't been to many meetings this year. I've also been a member of the now defunct Brotherhood of Emmaus, and I've been on the Start Retreat, the Horizon Retreat, and this year I'll be going on my first ever Send trip to El Paso, Texas. Honestly, it's hard to pick one. I've had many great memories at both of the retreats I've went on, and if Assumption does host them in the future, I'd highly recommend students go to those. I've also really liked some of the dinners that some of the campus ministry members have. Most recently, Deacon Elmer had a Filipino night, and I was there, and it was a good time. I enjoyed a lot of good food. Definitely good for community bonding. Lastly, I'd say it was I did a service with chorale, and this was the first time I sung with music ministry, and it really reawakened the just love of music that I had. It was the thing that got me into religion when I was younger, so it really reawakened that passion for me, and something I hope to continue in the future. Absolutely. If I only had to pick one, it would be Brother Daniele. He was there during my some of the darkest times I had at Assumption because I started during COVID and I kind of got severely depressed. So we had a bunch of one-on-one meetings for spiritual direction, and he's really helped me grow not only as a Christian but as a person. So I really largely thank him for being so helpful during a dark time. I'd also thank, Deacon Paul and Father Roger for their support and encouragement throughout the years too. Absolutely, I could leave behind a lot of wisdom from my 4 years of Assumption, but I'll try to limit it to my most salient points. First, I'd say, if you are suffering from mental health issues, if you are struggling to find a reason to keep going, just reach deep down and keep going even when you find no reason to. Secondly, I'd also recommend to join some extracurricular activities. Those were a great time. I mentioned a lot, and even if you don't do anything campus ministry related, I think extracurriculars are a great help to a student's mental health. I'd also recommend to take a diversity of classes. even as a senior who's leaving Assumption, there are a couple of classes that surprisingly I regret not taking. I would have loved to take a nutrition class and an economics class just to understand how those things work, but I didn't when I was here, so there's that. And finally, I'd say, if you are struggling on an assignment, see your professors for office hours or use the academic support center. I did not, and I've regretted it many times. Also, your professors are probably pretty lonely, so they, even if you don't have or aren't struggling with an assignment, they'd probably just like someone to talk to.